Hello, everyone, and welcome back to NeuroPsyQ, where today I'm very excited to welcome you all back to the fourth video of our channel's new NeuroPsyQ meets PHARAOH crossover series. The PHARAOH team has been extremely busy over the past several months, adding a number of new classifiers to the platform, while also further optimizing the performance of the PHARAOH interface to make the user experience even more streamlined. This work has led to the development of an exciting new feature that all users developing classifiers on the platform now have the opportunity to try out for themselves. I'm very excited to present to you all the PHARAOH Cloud Annotation feature. For the first time ever, with the Cloud Annotation feature, you will now have the ability to upload, annotate, and submit your chosen whole slide images for the development of your very own PHARAOH classifier, all in a single unified step. In order to harness the power of this remarkable new feature for yourself, you will need to have a set of at least a few pathology slides you are interested in generating a classifier with, and will need to know how to upload these slides to an existing classifier on the PHARAOH site. If you would like some guidance regarding either of these steps, I encourage you to watch the tutorial videos previously uploaded to our channel, which will both be in the playlist linked in the video description. However, if you have already watched these videos, then you're all set to try out the newest exciting feature of the PHARAOH platform to date. So let's jump right in and actually learn how you can generate your very own PHARAOH classifier with just a few clicks. So when using this feature, one of two situations will apply to you. In the first situation, you are uploading your slides to generate an improved version of an existing classifier hosted on the PHARAOH website. Say if you are interested in uploading several slides you had of lung adenocarcinomas, which you would upload to the existing lung classifier hosted on the site in order to receive the most accurate analysis of your slides before submitting the results to be put towards the development of a new lung classifier based on your slides. In the other case, however, you may not have found an existing PHARAOH classifier that is tailored to the site your images were drawn from, in which case we would recommend picking the classifier on the site that is most similar to your region of interest for running your slides. After you've done this, you'll be able to include more detailed annotations while reviewing the results generated by the classifier you chose before submitting them to develop your unique PHARAOH classifier. Okay, so now after you've either run your batch of whole slide images through an existing classifier that aligns with your site of interest or the closest option that you could find on the site, you're going to go into your dashboard, which by now I'm sure you are all quite familiar with after running your slides on the platform. So I'm going to click My Account, Dashboard. Once in my dashboard, I'm going to click the Create button under the first header here on this page that reads My Models. This will now open a pop-up window where I have the ability to add a name, site, and description to the classifier I'm about to develop. So I'm going to call this classifier NeuroPsyQ model. For the site, I'm going to call it lung, and for the description, I'm going to call it tutorial video classifier. And then once I've populated all three of these fields with the relevant information, we will click the Create button just below here, keeping in mind that we will still be able to go back and edit any one of these fields whenever we would like. After creating our new model template, we will click the black and white box that reads Edit, shown in the new square that has appeared to represent our classifier in progress. After doing this, you can now see how we can edit the name, site, and description along with our creator name at any point. But we're going to scroll past this information to the bottom of the page, where you'll find a section under the heading that reads Create New Model Revision. As the instructions listed below this header indicate, we are going to click on each slide in the list here that we would like to include in the new classifier we are developing. This is why it is imperative that you run your desired slides through a similar classifier first, because you'll notice that each case becomes gray as is selected for development with a new classifier. So it's important to make sure that all of the slides you would like to select are gray before proceeding on to the next step. So I'm just going to select the first 5 slides in this list here. And once I've done that, I will click the Create button above this list, which will now pull up the color tile map and annotation table generated by PHARAOH for each slide I ran earlier. So now I have the option to visually inspect the color tile map to make sure everything looks right based on the morphology of my slides. And I can also edit any of the labels in the class column assigned to each color cluster region in my slide. Maybe on this first slide, PHARAOH did a great job and I don't need to make any changes here. So I click the blue Next button to move to the next slide. And then here on the second slide, I found that PHARAOH didn't do too great, which makes sense here because I actually uploaded slides containing lung adenocarcinomas to a breast cancer classifier instead. So I'm going to just click the cell that I'd like to change in the class column, and then I'm going to replace the existing label with my new label. So let's say I actually think that cyan here is nodal metastatic carcinoma instead of lymph node capsule. So I'm going to change that to nodal metastatic carcinoma, making sure that I keep my case sensitive. And then let's say I also think that orange is fibrosis instead of lymph node capsule. So I'm going to change that there. And then once I've made my changes, I'll click next again and repeat this process for the remaining slides of my batch. So I'm just going to click next to skip through them. And now here, once I reach the final slide, I have the option to generate a breakdown, which is essentially the compiled file containing a summary of all of the different classes that were included for each case. And I can then make any final edits to this file before submitting the results for my classifier development. So I'm going to generate this breakdown by clicking the red button. And now I can review this breakdown file like I mentioned. So once I have this breakdown ready, there's a couple important things that I need to keep in mind. First of all, if any classes are essentially the same, maybe because I made a typo in one of my annotations and it generated a new class based on this typo, or I had a case change in one of my annotations, it would be wise to merge these classifiers to optimize my classifier. It would be wise to merge these classes to optimize my classifier's performance. So in order to do this, I'll just include the name I want to give to my new merged class, which will override the names that were assigned to the individual classes. And then I will include the numbers of all the classes I'm interested in merging in the column to the right of that one, which is called the merge class number column. So let's say I think that fibroconnective tissue and fibrosis are similar enough for the purposes of this classifier, and I want to merge them here. To do that, I'll simply call the new merge class fibrosis and fibroconnective tissue. I'll put it in the merge class column here. And then beside that, I will add the numbers of both of these classes into the merged class number. So if we scroll to the left here, we can see this class is classes 2 and 3. I'm going to add 2, 3. And then for any classes I don't want to merge and keep as is, I simply won't make any changes to that row of the table. Finally, I will need to populate the is tumor column here on the far right with either a yes or a no for each row of the spreadsheet, with the exception of any rows that I'm already merging. So I'm going to add no here, no here, and then I get to skip this row for fibrosis since it's a previous class that I've since merged. I'll write no again for lymph node capsule. And then finally, I'm going to identify that nodal metastatic carcinoma is in fact a tumor at the bottom of the breakdown by including a yes. Well, now my breakdown is complete and I'm all set to submit my classifier for training. So I'll click the red button that says confirm breakdown here in the bottom right corner, and a message should appear momentarily notifying me that my classifier was submitted. See? Okay, great. So I got that confirmation message. For confirmation, you can also check your email, as you should have immediately received an automated email to the account associated with your PHARAOH account confirming your submission. The PHARAOH team will get started on training your brand new classifier immediately and will reach out if they have any questions before informing you when your classifier has been completed and is ready to be hosted on the platform. If you do have any questions at any point throughout this process, you can always reach out to the PHARAOH team at pharaoh.reporting@gmail.com, which is all lowercase. This email address will also be included in the confirmation email you received upon submission. Well, I hope you now understand how to use the new cloud annotation feature to develop your very own PHARAOH classifier, and encourage you all to go ahead now and try it out for yourselves. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see similar ones in the future, please like and subscribe to this channel, and also be sure to hit the bell button to activate notifications so you never miss another video from us in the future. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in our next exciting PHARAOH tutorial. Bye.